I think that people are still not able to hear me. And we are live right now. So hello, welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, I would like to discuss XRP, how it's currently performing and how it will be performing during the upcoming hours and days. So what is actually important before the weekend? So thank you very much for watching. The people who are already joining, thank you very much already. And if you are a first-time viewer, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below. And if you're liking the content so far, do not forget to as well hit that subscribe button. It will be highly appreciated and you will be supporting the channel by doing so. So if we take a look at XRP currently, I would like to discuss how the trend looks like. So clearly we were forming this beautiful ascending support previously. We saw multiple touch points, well, at approximately this area. It's not, I just want to place this line as a indicator that we were seeing this support being found on top of this area. What you could clearly see at this point in time is that we were forming this higher lows, higher low, higher low, and even here we were still forming a higher low. But what is actually very important right now, you can clearly see that the previous low was actually higher than the current low where we are at. So we are as well creating a lower high structure, and that is actually showing us that we are right now currently in a downtrend. If on the 1 hourly time frame on XRP I enable the Ema Ribbon, what you can clearly see right away is that we are right now actually breaking below the Ema Ribbon, and as well clearly the Ema Ribbon is serving as a level of resistance on top of us instead of as a level of support underneath us. So that is something absolutely important right now. So if we take a look at the overall trend, especially on the 4 hourly time frame, and I disable the Ema Ribbon, you can clearly see that we are still creating a beautiful higher low structure. So we are creating a higher low compared to the previous one, and right now we were creating as well a higher low. But what I must admit is if we are not able to hold strong on top of the $1.13 level, we could perhaps see a decline even further towards the $1.07. Why is this actually something I'm personally concerned about? It's actually due to the fact that if we break out below the $1.13 level, we are actually going to see a decline all the way towards the 0.382 Fibonacci, and as well we won't be seeing that very important higher low structure getting created on the chart. And that is actually something I would prefer to see if we would like to see further continuation and growth during the next week. So that is something I think is absolutely important. I see already that there are one comment is coming up. Guys, if you would like to comment down below, I would highly appreciate it. And as well, if you're liking the content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Let's take a look at the comments from Hafsa. Thank you very much for watching right now. Can you take a look at CRV, please? Thank you. Yes, I will after I just shortly discuss the XRP price action. This being said, I would like to actually take a look at on the 1 hourly time frame what we saw previously today. We were clearly seeing this symmetrical triangle. We did saw a breakdown occur, and right now we are seeing, well, clearly the movement towards the downside. That happens due to the fact that we broke down below this ascending support outside of this pattern. So we have seen already a minor drop of approximately, let's take a quick look, 2.4%. If we are heading towards the $1.13 level, it would be a 3% drop, but you can clearly see that our target is actually all the way towards the $1.09 area, and that is at approximately 7%. So we are still halfway through the potential scenario where we might be heading towards, due to the fact that we have already seen this breakout occur on the 1 hourly time frame. I would like to discuss a few indicators as well. If we take a look at the MACD, you can clearly see that the MACD is actually losing strength right now. This could perhaps mean that we are going to see an increase in price action at the moment when we are going to experience a crossover. Otherwise, it is very likely that we are going to see a further decline in price action, but right now we are seeing this momentum loss, and a crossover might be very likely to occur, but it's still too early to say if this is actually the case. This being discussed, I would like to take a look as well at the RSI on the 1 hourly time frame. You can clearly see on the RSI we have been creating this serious downtrend, and what I think is absolutely important is to be able to break out above this descending resistance, be able to find support on top of it, and see major increase on the RSI afterwards, and as well, of course, followed by an increase in XRP's price action. I do not think this will occur during the weekend, but it is good to know that if we break out above this area, we are going to see more movement towards the upside. Something I think is absolutely inevitable. We are not spotting any type of bullish or bearish divergences, so the current trend does actually look very good to me. If we go towards the 4 hourly time frame, we can clearly as well enable the MACD and take a look at what we are seeing. So still experiencing a lot of downward momentum. What is this actually telling us? That it is very likely that we are going to see a continuation of this downward momentum during the upcoming hours, and this could perhaps mean that we are going to see XRP head even further towards the downside and being supported on top of the $1.13 area. That is for sure the best case scenario. Like I discussed previously, it is important to maintain the $1.13 due to the fact that if we break down below it even further towards the $1.07, for example, it could be very bad for the overall trend due to the fact that we are not creating a higher low anymore. So the MACD does actually look healthy to me. More momentum loss is absolutely possible, but right now I think we have already seen major momentum towards the downside, so it could perhaps mean that we are going to be able to hold strong on top of this area for a while, perhaps until we see Saturday, tomorrow, the price action that there will be during this weekend. What I personally think is very likely that we are going to see a major breakdown on several cryptocurrencies, and therefore as well a breakdown even further on XRP, but I think it is crucial to stay on top of this area as I discussed on $1.13. Lastly, I would like to enable the RSI. On the RSI we have seen this downtrend over here. What is important at this point in time is also to be able to break out above this downtrend, but currently it does actually look very good. We are not seeing any type of bearish divergences so far, but what you can clearly see is that we are creating this lower low on the RSI, but we are clearly seeing a higher low, sorry, on the chart. So for the people who are wondering, we are creating clearly, if you see the blue line, a higher low on the chart, but a lower low on the RSI. This is a confirmed bullish divergence, and this is absolutely important because this is also showing that XRP might have enough strength to continue holding strong on top of this crucial level of support where we are currently trading at. These were the things I wanted to discuss about XRP. If people do still have questions, do not forget to actually ask those down below in the comment section. But right now, I would like to take a look at CRV. So I would like to start by taking a look at CRV on CoinMarketCap. On CoinMarketCap, you can clearly see that CRV is a rank 77 token. For the people who do not know CRV, it has a market cap of approximately 1.7 million. This is absolutely a big cryptocurrency, and of course, once it is inside of the 100 tokens, top 100 tokens, I personally have a lot of faith that the project is legitimate and that we will see price action according to the top 100 coins. What is actually very important to know as well right now is if we take a look at the past year, you can clearly see that we are quite high. We are actually at the highest point so far, but I would like to discuss this on TradingView as well. So if we head towards CRV, or DAO as others might know it, you can clearly see that if we take a look at the chart, especially on the 4-hourly time frame, and we zoom out a little, we are going to see this case scenario. What are we actually seeing? We are clearly seeing that we are actually on CRV's all-time high, or Dow's all-time high, and I would like to discuss what the current trends, how the current trend looks like, and what the possible scenarios are. To do so, I am actually going to place a Fibonacci retracement by selecting its swing high towards its swing low of the previous uptrend or downtrend, actually, due to the fact that we are right now heading further towards the upside, and we could see the levels of extension where we perhaps might be heading towards in the future once we see even further breakouts. So, well, if we head right away towards the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that we have been accumulating in between these two ranges, or above and in between the 0.786 and as well the 1 Fibonacci. Clearly, we are seeing this descending resistance so far, but I would like to call this, well, it depends a little. It is not very drawable on it is not very drawable on the 4-hourly time frame, but if we head perhaps towards the 1-hourly time frame, we might have a better view of what we are currently experiencing. So you could actually even say we are seeing this over here as a level of support, as a level of resistance, and as well these as a level of support underneath us. If I take a quick look, I would like to give you the best possible scenario, and I would like to actually draw this differently by placing a parallel channel. Why I'm choosing to place a parallel channel is because the price action has been in between two ranges, and therefore the parallel channel gives us the best possible levels of support and resistance according to what we are seeing on the chart. And these are actually the levels that we are seeing. If I just extend this a little bit further, you can clearly see as well that we are trading in between these ranges. What is actually important to know? So clearly we have seen multiple touch points on top of this descending resistance. We have also seen multiple touch points on top of this descending support. So therefore this is a confirmed descending channel. What is important, the possible breakout is something I would like to measure right away to see where we might be heading towards on CRV during this weekend. Well, for sure, if we are going to see a breakout occur above this descending resistance, it will head above the 1 Fibonacci once more. That will mean that we are going to see Dow head above the $4.71, perhaps be able to find support on top of it once this scenario plays itself out. The move that we are expecting outside of this outside of this descending channel is a move of approximately 9.2% towards either the upside or towards the downside. If we see a breakdown occur, we are going to see a breakdown below the 0.786, and what I think is absolutely important is that we haven't seen a lot of previous data at this point in time during the past couple of days. Therefore, it is likely that we are going to see a further decline underneath the 0.786 and heading towards the 0.618 level at $3.31 if we see a breakdown occur. Let's take a look as well at a few indicators and what they are currently showing us on the 1-hourly time frame. So if we take a look on the 1-hourly time frame, what we are seeing on the MACD is clearly, let's take a quick look, that we have experienced already movement towards the downside, so momentum towards the downside. And I would like to zoom in a little bit closer. Clearly, we are right now seeing once more a crossover occur of momentum towards the upside. As well, we are seeing a slightly bullish divergence on the momentum indicator MACD, due to the fact that the momentum waves, we are clearly seeing a higher low and a, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was a lower high, but this is an equal low, and therefore this is not a bullish divergence, but we are experiencing momentum towards the upside. If we head towards the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that the momentum is getting exhausted. This is actually very good to know, due to the fact that if we see a crossover on the 4-hourly time frame, it is very likely that we are going to see even a further increase in Dow's price action, and therefore as well a retest of this descending resistance on the upper part of this descending channel. So those are very important things you would like to consider right now. And what I think is absolutely good to know is that we have already experienced a major period of downward momentum. Therefore, it is even more likely that we are going to see, once the crossover takes place, momentum towards the upside that will be absolutely important for the overall price action. If we head towards the RSI, on the RSI, I must admit that it currently looks actually quite good. It does not look extraordinary, but it doesn't look bad either. What I must admit is that we have to break out above this descending resistance on the RSI to see a further continuation towards the upside. It actually looks like we are going to see a breakout above this area, perhaps during this night or during the upcoming hours. And eventually, if we see a breakout, it could mean that we're going to see a trend reversal getting created on the RSI. And as well, this means that we are going to see increase in strength and as well an increase in Dow's price action. Lastly, I would like to discuss the Ema Ribbon. If we take a look at the Ema Ribbon, for the very first time after quite a long period of time, we have seen a crossover on the Ema Ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame, and this could perhaps mean that we are going to experience some level of resistance above us. Why is this actually very important? Is because if we are not able to break out above the Ema Ribbon, finding support on top of it, and even a further breakout above this parallel descending channel, it might perhaps mean that we are going to see a breakdown occur. And as I said previously, if we see a breakdown occur below the 0.786, it could perhaps mean that we are going to see even further movement towards the downside, heading towards the 0.618 at approximately $3.31. So these are the things you would like to monitor very closely. And once we break down below the 0.786, it is very likely that further continuation will follow. For all of you watching right now, do not forget that if you have any type of questions, please do not hesitate to ask those in the comment sections, and I would like to take a look at the cryptocurrency of your own choice during the upcoming minutes. Well, down potential breakdown or breakout is not sure yet. I personally think that it is very likely that we are going to see an increase during the upcoming hours, but perhaps it might not be enough to see an eventual breakout occur above this descending resistance, and therefore we might get rejected at this point in time and see a further decline afterwards. Very good to monitor very closely. And lastly, I would like to take a look at the daily time frame, and what the MACD is actually showing us is that we did experience a crossover just several days ago, and therefore I think it is even more likely that we are going to see a continuation of this downward momentum, and perhaps Dow heading towards the 0.618 at $3.31 before expecting more growth afterwards. So this is my current thought on how Dow looks like. This being said, I would like to take a look at the comment sections, and I can already see that we have Raven Terror. Could you take a look at Cardano, please? And for sure, I would like to take a look at Cardano. So we are seeing Cardano right now. I would like to take a look at this chart, and what I think is important right now on Cardano. Oh, actually, this chart is the one I'm using, is to see what we are currently doing over here. So yeah, we have been trading in between these two ranges. On the 1-hourly time frame, we are right now heading towards a breakdown or breakout outside of this descending triangle. And why is this so important? Because if we see a breakout outside of this descending triangle, we are clearly seeing that it is a confirmed pattern. We have seen 1, 2, 3 touch points on underneath this descending resistance, and we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points on top of this, well, horizontal level of support. This being said, it means that if we see a potential breakout, it will be actually quite a major and significant breakout. This breakout will actually be measured by selecting the highest point of the descending resistance all the way towards the touch point of the horizontal level of support. If we see a breakout occur, it will be a major breakout heading once more towards the retest of this major descending resistance on the broader time frame that we have to break out above to see a trend reversal taking place. So this would be actually the ideal scenario for Cardano right now, due to the fact that if we see a breakout, we will be heading once more towards that direction, retesting this descending resistance again, and perhaps being able for the very first time to see a breakout occur and a trend reversal getting created. And this sleeping giant will see, will for sure have eventually a major growth afterwards. But this is something you would like to consider, that if we are going to see a breakdown occur, we will be heading towards the $1.81 area. Why is this so important? Is because the $1.81 area is actually a major level of previous support and resistance. I would like to show you by taking a look at the 4-hourly time frame. Previously, we have seen Cardano trade in between these ranges or underneath these ranges before, and therefore this is a very important level of support and resistance in between the $1.81 and $1.60. So I personally think that this will be a major stronghold. We have already seen that it is actually a major stronghold due to the fact that once we saw this major candle heading all the way towards the $1.81, a lot of buy orders were here placed, and we saw immediately an increase afterwards. Therefore, this candle did not close all the way here at approximately $1.85, but it did actually eventually close at approximately $1.98, and we have been trading in between these ranges so far. Currently, let's take a look at what we are seeing on the 4-hourly time frame on the MACD to decide if it is more likely that we are going to see an increase or a decline in Cardano's price action. So right now we are clearly seeing that we experienced previous momentum towards the downside. We are seeing a momentum loss right now. Therefore, it is likely that we are going to experience a crossover within the upcoming hours. If we see a crossover occur, that means that we could expect momentum towards the upside and as well an increase in momentum on Cardano's price action. Why is this so important? Because if a breakout occurs, we are going to see a retest once more taking place, and perhaps this might be the retest we were waiting for, due to the fact that it will have enough strength to break out above this descending resistance, creating a trend reversal and seeing major growth afterwards on XRP. If I enable the Ema Ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame, let's take a quick look. You can clearly see that we are experiencing resistance above us. So currently we are trading underneath the Ema Ribbon. Therefore, it is likely that we are not able to break out above it, but the current MACD does actually look very, very good. What else is actually important so far, and why do we have to take these things into consideration in combination with the MACD and the RSI, and the Ema Ribbon? That is actually the RSI. On the RSI, we are right now clearly seeing not any type of bullish or bearish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame, but what is actually right away something very important to discuss so far is that we have enough space to see either a breakdown or a breakout occur. So in both cases, we still have plenty of room on the RSI to see further movement towards the downside or further movement towards the upside on Cardano. So for the people who are right now wanting to trade this pattern, I personally am monitoring very closely what the development could be and how we are going to see this breakout occur. Well, so far it does look to me like we are going to see a breakout, but it's weekend of course, and therefore I am not sure yet, and I would like to monitor this very closely as well. On the 1 hourly time frame, you can clearly see that we have still plenty of space either towards the downside or towards the upside before getting overextended and expecting a trend reversal on Cardano's price action. Therefore, if this breakout occurs, it will be for sure a significant move of approximately, let's take a quick look, 8% either towards the up or towards the downside. So RSI does actually look very good. No bearish or bullish divergence spotted over here. And if we take a look at the sorry guys, I enabled the Ema Ribbon once again. At the MACD, you can clearly see that over here we might perhaps see a crossover once more. What does actually concern me is that the previous momentum towards the upside was quite minor. We did not see major movement towards the upside, but perhaps because we are right now seeing this breakout taking place, we might see more momentum towards the upside. Clearly right now we are experiencing some more movement towards the upside, and as well the momentum is following this trend. If we head towards the 2 hourly time frame, it does actually look very good because a crossover is quite inevitable there as well if we continue with the current pace. Clearly we have been seeing right now a retest of this descending resistance on the 1 hourly time frame. What I think is important, if we are able to close this 1 hourly candle on top of this descending resistance, for sure this will be a confirmed breakout, and I will try to enter this trade a little bit underneath. So I would like to enter the trade at this point in time, where you could clearly see we traded previously as well on top of, and it would be also the retest of this candle by heading further up and retesting this descending resistance, previous resistance, and creating it right now a current level of support on top and seeing further increase afterwards. So currently Cardano does very strong, and it is very likely that we're going to see a further increase. What is actually good to know, and as well the last thing I would like to discuss about Cardano, is that if we see a breakout occur, we will be heading towards the retest of this descending resistance that has been here for quite a long time, and as well is aligned with the 200-day moving average. Therefore, I would like to enable the 200-day moving average and discuss why this area is so important right now. If we see a breakout occur above this descending resistance and as well above the 200-day moving average, I personally think that we will see a major movement towards the upside on Cardano. We have seen previous major movement once we saw a similar scenario taking place in the past, and we could perhaps expect major movement as we saw previously. The last time we saw this occur was at this point in time, and once we saw a breakout occur above the 200-day moving average and above that descending resistance previously, we clearly saw a major move of approximately 137%. And therefore, if you are right now wondering, should I enter a long position on Cardano? Well, my personal opinion is yes, but if you do not want to take a major risk, I would wait for Cardano until it confirms the breakout above this descending resistance, find support on top of it, and sees major movement towards the upside afterwards. Let's take a look at a few comments. I can clearly see that we have Hasa. Thank you for your amazing TA, really appreciate it. No problem, I really appreciate you being here and watching this live stream as well. Primo Victoria, hey Toro, nice stream. Thank you very much guys, I really appreciate your effort by taking a look at the stream. What's up Toro? Well, I'm fine, thank you very much. Right now just really waiting as well for what Formula 1 will do this weekend in Mexico, but as well what crypto will do this weekend. I'm personally still a little bit doubtful if we are going to see major momentum towards the upside. Therefore, I would like to say to all of you guys that if you are long in Cardano, you have to monitor the market very good. and be awake and just monitor the market closely enough, because perhaps you're going to see further declines this weekend due to the fact that Bitcoin is a little bit overextended. Primo Victoria, would you be interested in a job offer, Toro? Well, I do have my cryptocurrency channel, and I do trade a lot myself. That is actually my main source of income, for all of you who were wondering. And I'm actually quite glad I'm inside of the cryptocurrency space so much days a week, so I can learn even more about all type of blockchain development and new type of cryptocurrencies that come into the market. But for all of you watching right now, I would really appreciate if you want me to take a look at a cryptocurrency of your own choice. Do not forget to do so. And if you are actually waiting until Cardano breaks out above this descending resistance, and you would like to see a perfect trading opportunity of approximately 100% after breaking out above the descending resistance and as well above the 200-day moving average, well, I do have a major offer down below in the description, due to the fact that Bybit is offering you $3,500 deposit bonus if you are a first-time depositor by using the link down below, and you will be supporting the channel by doing so, so thank you very much already. I can see 5k ADA strong. Let's go. Yes, for sure, Cardano's looking strong, and I do totally agree with you. For XRP, wait for 111. So Roger, can we enter a trade for XRP? Well, I discussed XRP at the beginning of this live stream. I would like to take out XRP once more. Well, clearly you can see that we are right now experiencing on the 4-hourly time frame as well a little bit of downward momentum. We are currently holding strong due to the fact that we are seeing this bullish divergence on the RSI. We can clearly see that we are creating a higher low on the chart, but we are creating a lower low on the RSI. Therefore, we are seeing a bullish divergence taking place. Currently, I think that Cardano will hold strong where it's currently at, but it will see a slightly further decline during this night. But I am actually confident that we are going to hold strong on top of the $1.13 area, and as well the 0.5 Fibonacci level. I think that it is very unlikely that we are going to see a further breakdown, and if we see a breakdown occur further below, it would be actually quite bad for the overall trend, due to the fact that we won't be creating this beautiful higher low structure anymore. And I think that would be devastating for the trend that we are right now currently seeing on XRP. So right now, I do not think we are going to see a way further decline in XRP's price action. I might be wrong, but I think this stronghold will actually do its job and serve as a stronghold on top of the $1.13 level. What I must say to all of you who are right now wanting to enter a long trade position, my personal opinion would be to enter your trade a little bit lower than the $1.13 area. What is my entry going to be? Well, I'm waiting for the Cardano breakout, to be totally honest with you. But if you are right now wanting to trade, a long trade on XRP, I would personally wait for this area to join the trade or to enter your long position at approximately $1.12.55, due to the fact that you could clearly see that we were seeing previous resistance at this area, and if you make this horizontal ray a little bit longer, you can clearly see that it was not just this previous resistance underneath, but as well this previous resistance even further back in past that's at this certain level. Therefore, I think this is a major stronghold and as well a very good entry. $1.12, would be my personal advice for all of you watching so far. And if you're liking the content, guys, do not forget to give me that thumbs up. If you are a little bit of a risk taker and you would like to, well, accumulate at the lowest point possible, where I think it will be the lowest XRP will go right now, is actually accumulating on top of the 200-day moving average on the 4-hourly time frame. That would mean that instead of placing your entry at $1.12, you will be placing your entry a little bit further down at approximately $1.10. I wouldn't do this, but if you are actually wondering, should I enter the trade, and you do not have, well, a certain point where you would like to enter, my personal opinion is $1.12. But if you do not want to take that risk and you would like to accumulate even further down, $1.10 is as well a very good choice. This being said, let's discuss a little bit of Bitcoin. We do not discuss Bitcoin a lot during this channel, but what I think is absolutely incredible is what we are seeing right now. And I think we are right now in a perfect scenario to see exponential growth on Bitcoin. So let's discuss actually previous data before watching what we could perhaps see during the upcoming hours. So we could clearly see at this point in time in the past, this was on the 8th of January 2021, we saw this descending resistance. Well, it's not the prettiest, but it's a descending resistance. So here it is. You could clearly see we saw multiple touch points on underneath this descending resistance, but what most importantly, we were heading all the way down towards the 200-day moving average. We dropped below the 200-day moving average just for a short while, and afterwards, once we saw this trend reversal taking place by breaking out above this previous descending resistance, finding support on top of it, we saw this exponential growth. This growth was absolutely amazing on Bitcoin. At that point in time, we saw approximately 81% move after this scenario took place. And if we head towards the data, what we are currently seeing, we are actually seeing a very similar scenario. And this is why I think we are actually very likely to see a major growth on Bitcoin. We are right now heading towards a retest of the 200-day moving average. As you can clearly see, it is quite, well, it's quite nearby on the 4-hourly time frame. The 200-day moving average is actually just right underneath us. And what is actually very important is that we are as well creating this descending resistance. Well, you could clearly see in the past that we actually broke down below the 200-day moving average for a while before being able to break out above this descending resistance and seeing major growth. Something similar to this is personally what I think will occur right now, but what I'm actually 100% sure about is that if we see a breakout occur above this line, we will see major movement towards the upside, and as could potentially mean that after this weekend on Monday, we will see an 81% increase during next week, heading towards once more a new all-time high on Bitcoin. If we take a look at the MACD, you can clearly see that we are currently experiencing downward momentum on the 4-hourly time frame. Yes, we are right now as well experiencing momentum, well, strength loss. You can clearly see that it's not as strong as previously due to the fact that the candles are becoming a lighter red, or perhaps you might call this pink, and that is showing us that we are losing strength on the downward momentum and more upward momentum is replacing the previous downtrend. So far, I think we are not heading towards a crossover anytime soon on the 4-hourly time frame, so major growth is not there yet. If we take a look at the MACD on the 1-hourly time frame, we are seeing actually something very similar. We are seeing as well this momentum loss on the MACD, and a crossover is actually on its way if we continue seeing growth on the Bitcoin chart. But it does not actually look very strong And I personally think, due to the fact that it's tomorrow, it will be Saturday, we will see a further decline instead of an increase in Bitcoin's price action. What is actually as well very important to take a look at is the Ema Ribbon. The Ema Ribbon is serving as a level of resistance above us instead of as a level of support underneath us, as we saw previously. And perhaps this could mean that we are not able to break out above this area, and we will see a rejection taking place once we reach towards a retest on the 1 hourly, or perhaps as well on other time frames. Like you can clearly see on the 4 hourly time frame, we are as well heading towards a crossover, and I think we will actually experience a moment of downward momentum during this weekend instead of even more movement towards the upside. Let's take a look at the RSI. If we enable the RSI, what you can clearly see is that we are not seeing, well, any type of bullish or bearish divergence. You could say that this is for sure a higher low, and that we are right now seeing perhaps an equal low on the RSI, but I would like to see an even further decline on the RSI before calling this a bullish divergence on Bitcoin. So right now, I wouldn't say we are seeing a bullish divergence. What I would like to discuss is that we have a lot of space either towards the up or towards the downside on Bitcoin to see further continuation of decline in price action. And therefore, if we see this weekend, well, starting off with downward momentum, I personally think we will be heading towards that area on top of the thin yellow line at approximately $58,223. We have seen resistance underneath this area previously, and as well support being found on top, and it would actually not be that bad for the overall trend, due to the fact that on Monday we could expect major movement if this weekend is not a very bullish weekend at all. On the 1 hourly time frame, you can clearly see on the RSI that we are actually seeing well, nothing out of the ordinary. We were seeing previously a slightly bearish divergence. We saw afterwards this decline in price action. You could clearly see this due to the fact that we were creating a lower high on the chart and a slightly higher high on the RSI. Therefore, we saw afterwards this decline, and as well, this is the movement we were expecting after seeing this bearish divergence. Currently, we are not spotting anything out of the ordinary. The only thing that you have to take into consideration is that you could perhaps expect major movement on the RSI towards the upside, but we still have plenty of space towards the downside as well before breaking down below the dotted line on the lower part on the RSI, and expecting a trend reversal on the strength indicator, and eventually as well a trend reversal on the price action of Bitcoin. So this is the descending resistance we are talking about. But if we take a look at the 1 hourly time frame and just zoom in a little bit closer, well, I personally draw this today, and I do actually think that this is a valid pattern. Why I think this is actually a valid pattern, it's because you can clearly see that we have on both sides, either on the descending resistance and on this descending support, multiple touch points. We have seen 1, 2, 3 touch points on top of this descending support, and we have seen multiple touch points on top of this, well, underneath this descending resistance. Therefore, this is a broadening wedge, and once we see a breakout occur above or a breakdown underneath, we can expect a major move towards either the up or towards the downside. If we see a move towards the upside taking place, it would mean that we will be heading towards the beginning of this broadening wedge, and that would be at approximately $63,740. If we see a breakdown, actually, that would mean that we are going to see actually further decline, and that decline would look rather similar to this as well. Quite a moment, please. to measure this out correctly. If we see a breakdown occur, this would mean that we are heading towards the 58,223 direction, still a little bit higher, but it will be for sure heading in this direction. And I personally think that we won't be reaching the 0.786 Fibonacci at $57,000, but a stronghold will be created a little bit higher, just as we saw previously as well during the past couple of weeks. This being said, I would like to discuss lastly the Ema Ribbon. On the Ema Ribbon, you can clearly see on the daily time frame for sure that we are well, a little bit overextended, not that much at all, and that we could actually see even more downward momentum without needing to worry, due to the fact that if we see downward momentum, we will be supported by the Ema Ribbon, and therefore I think that it is actually very healthy for the overall trend if we see during this weekend a decline and after on Monday a further increase. Well guys, unfortunately I do have to go right now, but if you like the content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up. I'm sorry I did not upload a video today, but tomorrow I'll be back, and I hope you will enjoy the content at that point as well. So thank you very much for watching all, and have a nice day. Bye.